Right here at the beginning, Danielle, I'd love to know more about the genesis, the origins of the desire mapping process, and also how it works in a nutshell. How does it work? How do I create a desire map?
Genesis. I cannot believe I can say this about anything in my life, but it is actually like a decade in the making, and it started on a New Year's Eve, and I wrote out my goals, now I talk about goals in quotes, right? My quote-unquote goals, and they were simple, and they were, they're fine. They're decent aspirations. Pay off the credit card, new dining room table, get to Hawaii for family wedding. And I looked at my poster board of goals and was like, meh, I'm like so not inspired. And actually worse than not being inspired, those goals actually felt like another to-do list. Mm-hmm. And I did not, as an entrepreneur and then a very new mom, I did not need another to-do list. And it was just a very simple act. I grabbed some magic markers and started writing, almost like as an act of defiance, some like what I thought were cooler words across my goals, like abundance and sexy and earth and natural and flow. And I was just like, I can get down with that. That's way more better. And then I thought nothing of it. So that was like year one. And then it just kind of crept into my psyche. Like year two, when I sat down to do my goals for the new year, always, by the fire, New Year's Eve, I thought about, what about those words again? And then it crept into a Post-it note that I kept in my day timer for years. And I started asking myself, what am I going to do this year to feel this way? And then I started asking myself, what am I going to do this week to feel this way? And then I thought, I'm onto something, because it was it was helping me loosen my grip around ambition, which I'd love to talk more about. Mm-hmm. I was feeling lighter, like a sense of lightness. I was feeling way more compassionate about what I was achieving, but more importantly, what I wasn't achieving. It gave me just all this space for self-compassion around that. And then I started talking about it when I was, doing speaking gigs, and said, there's something, I'm onto something here with this feelings first, instead of your to-do, instead of your ambition list. And then people were coming up to me after gigs saying, do you have a worksheet for that? I thought, we're onto something. And I could see this struggle, almost like turmoil for people around the whole concept of goal setting. And by then, so that brings us like year 8 or 9. By then, it had really seeped into my psyche, and I made these really ugly white binders, and I created a system, and I called these desired feelings your core desired feelings. And I gave it to a few dozen friends and said, get back to me. Let me know if this works. And they all had that experience of the grip loosening and just a real shift of focus. And I don't bust a move anymore without referencing my decision, my aspiration towards my core desired feelings.
Now let's just clarify what you mean by that, core desired feelings. What are those, and how do I know what my core desired feelings are?
Those are your preferred states of being. Those are, what they aren't is they're not the fleeting emotions that you're going to feel throughout the day. You're going to feel 900 feelings a day. These are a desired way of feeling and being that have probably been with you for a very long time. So I'll use myself as an example. So my core desired feelings are, I want to feel in communion. I want to feel creation. I want to feel abundance. And I want to feel joy. And if I look back on my childhood, if I look back on my 20s, those core desired feelings have been driving me for a long time. I mean, I can remember the longing to meet God when I was a little girl. I was a super religious kid and praying to hawks and fairies and the Virgin Mary. I just wanted communion. So that's been with me for a long time. So these are, they're deep, and they've been hovering. They're not fleeting. And you want me to talk now about how you get them?
Sure.
How you find them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's deceptively simple in that it's a simplistic process, or process, as we say here in Canada. It's simplistic, but it's you have to go deep to answer the question. So the broad brush version is this. Go through every area of your life, and I break this down into categories. You can call these categories whatever you like, because this has got to resonate for you. So I break it down into relationships and society. So that's like your loverly relationships and your work relationships, community, neighbors. And then there's wellness and body. It speaks for itself. There's creativity and learning. What are your hobbies? How do you learn? How do you want to educate yourself? Then there's vocation, what I call livelihood. And that can be whatever you want it to be. That can be career, job, cash, money, your lifestyle, the things you want to own, the material possessions in your life, what you want to do for work in the world. And then at the center of all of that is your essence, what I call essence and spirituality. Call it whatever you want. Your higher self, your original self, your soul. You're going to look at those areas of your life, and you're going to ask yourself how you most want to feel in every area of your life. And my guidance around this is to not hold back, to let it be stream of consciousness. You can do this with the book, you can do it with a journal, you can do it while you're a walking meditation, you can do it in a weekend. Some people, it takes them months to get through this. And don't, if you want to feel electric or spicy or red, go ahead, write it down. If you want to feel love, respect, vitality, connection, get all that down. And then the next step is all about pattern recognition. So you will see the same concepts, the same words and feelings coming up again and again. And I guarantee you that how you want to feel within your vocation or in terms of money is probably how you want to feel in your relationships as well. And how you want to feel in your body, ideally, is probably how you want to feel in terms of your creative expression. And then I nudge you, I lovingly, strongly encourage you to narrow it down to 3, maybe 4 or 5 core desired feelings. Any more than that, I think it gets a little unwieldy. Personally, my brain cannot hold more than 5 desired feelings to focus on. And this is about focus. This is the power of focus here is about, generating those feelings on a regular basis, and then you're going to attach those core desired feelings to some goals. So once you've made that declaration, hey, this is how I most want to feel in my life, and let me just pause and say this is an art, not a science. So play with the words, play with the concepts for a while. You don't have to be like, don't let the creative tension of, do I want to feel joy or do I want to feel bliss? Don't let that creative tension sort of hem you up from just going forward with a desired feeling. And this is where the rubber really hits the road, which is, and you're going to ask yourself, what do you need to do or have or experience in all of those areas that's going to help generate those core desired feelings? So your answers may be things like, let's say one of your core desired feelings is energized. Okay, well, what do you need to do this year to feel energized? Maybe it's about committing to literally climb the mountain, or it's as simple as yoga twice a week, or you're going to break up, or you're going to quit the job, or you're going to sell the house. They can be very, small things or big, sweeping, life-changing things. And my guidance on the goal setting in relationship to your core desired feelings is, and I prefer the language, intentions, is that really just focus on a few things for the year. I don't plan further out in my life than like 1 or 2 years. And I feel like time really is quickening. And I want to accomplish 2 or 3 great things a year instead of like 10, good things. I want to hit it out of the park instead of decent. So I do, for me, it's 3 big things a year, max.